August 14th p.m. Careless whisper. So, are you ready for this? Twilight asked. I have no idea, Fireside admitted. She was wearing a large white and salmon French Navy-style shirt, Bermuda shorts, and a pair of salmon Keller Esperados. The look was meant to be breezy, casual, and very much in line with the look of the resort. Fireside had no idea how Rarity, Pinky, and Twilight were able to come up with the set of these in less than 20 minutes, much less than 2. It's Rarity. Oh, you look wonderful, darlings, Rarity said, tying a huge baby bow to the end of Octavia's jet black hair. She wore a baby blue version of Fireside's ensemble, and that wasn't enough. Somehow, Pinky had managed to come up with a white, blue, and salmon guitar strap for her bass. For guitar strap emergencies, she explained. So Sunset explained that Octavia wrote it off as Pinky being Pinky. We are so very looking forward to your performance tonight. Yeah, no pressure, Octavia replied, thumbing a string and tuning it. Tweaking it, she felt both elation and guilt while doing so. The former due to the chance to play a musical instrument again, but the latter knowing what she had done in her brief madness. She hadn't much chance to play music since then, and had to admit, regardless of the situation, she was looking forward to the performance. No pressure at all, Sunset said, told the soon-to-perform duo. Seeing the others had directly involved, were standing on the far side of the dressing room, trying to stay out of the way of Rarity's gentle ministrations. During the prep, something about those names struck me, and I don't mean to just our pop stars. I called Cloudkicker. She says hi, by the way. It turns out those 3 attend the same high school that Vinyl and Kiki do. 1. Ravenhair counted off her fingers. What makes you call them? And 2. I still think Vinyl's a stupid cunt for what she did to me. You don't have to like her, cuz, Sunny said. You just need to wipe the floor with them. From what I got, Vinyl and Kiki spent the rest of the past school year protecting their friends from those 3 who are essentially power bullies. And if they're doing it to them, they'll do it to Flutters. You can't let that happen. Indeed, Rarity agreed. Well, I'm proud of you for standing up to those bullies, no matter what happens. Yeah, but we want to beat them, not to stand up to them, Octavia replied. And I'm sure we'll mop the floor with them. You ready, Fluttershy? Oh, I'm ready, Fluttershy said with absolute confidence, looking briefly at Sunset before giving herself a confident smile. We'll hit him so hard, it'll be like magic. Meanwhile, the master stood up on stage, looking at the crowd tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I have got something for you. A special performance of not just 1, but 2, but 3 of today's rising young stars. Tonight, you'll be serenaded by musical stars, ladies and gents. First of all, I give you the current reigning queen of pop, Tequila Sunrise, and her lovely young friends. The gorgeous and talented singer Windsong and stagecraft on piano. And after that, I give you rising rock star Fluttershy and her friend, the classically trained musician Octavia Medley on bass. It's going to be a humdinger of a show tonight, folks. Enjoy tonight's entertainment courtesy of the Club Tropicana. The girls, at their assigned tables near the front, looked at each other. Rainbow slipped on a Garandine and Coke. Well, for only 30 minutes, they really got the stage ready. I'm hoping that's part of the preset design, Rarity worthily said. I would hate to think the next act in the advantage of those 3. I'll think she'll do fine, Abstract announced. Besides, look who's she's up against. Yeah, 2 of the hottest teen pop stars out there right now, Twilight said worriedly. Andy had the star power compared to what she has. Oh, I don't know. I could think of one thing our side has that they don't. Twilight couldn't help smiling about her sister. That is magic. Spotlight began to shine on Tequila Sunrise and Windsong as he took the stage. From the moment they stepped into their pre-arranged location, stagecraft started playing a song on the piano, and in 2 seconds the girls started singing along. Their voices like siren calls on the wind. Oh, I'm running out of air. Love you, need you. Cut me close to fading, 'cause I'm a living on you. I've been wondering, do you need every little piece of me? Am I like the air you breathe? The 2 moved through the lyrics, point and counterpoint, singing like a beautiful melody twinned within their soul. outfits sparked and shimmered, giving them an ethereal look, and proving why, at their young ages, they had conquered the music world. The songs just seemed to grab onto your soul and demand a response to the musical question begged for an answer for. Am I like the air you breathe? Even the girls sitting at their table felt the sway of the music, being in the presence of masters of their craft. Even those who didn't care much for the pop songstress couldn't deny the elemental pull of the song. So Sunset didn't exactly have time to check it out, so he wondered if these girls had magic. So, they some small measure when they sang was that they had to be related to a human magical bloodline somehow. But she worried what would happen if either of those girls ever came to that realization. And not that they had charisma, which is almost as bad. Sunset had recalled reading about World War II, and the man who started it all. They called him charismatic as well, but it was just as possible he possessed some magic, and the world had burned regardless. Nearly 4 minutes later, the last tones of the piano stopped. The girls bowed gracefully before the audience and exploded into applause. Those seated at the table before the stage knew that their friends would have one hell of a fight before them. That was beautiful, Twilight's voice said in filled with wonder and shame. The former because she loved the song, the latter because she felt it was a betrayal of those around her. I reluctantly agree, Rarity said in much the same tone. Still, I hope that I and Octavia can be better than them. They will, okay? Rainbow defended. Sure, those other girls were cool and all, but our gals got 'em beat. No sweat. Could go either way, I reckon, Applejack admitted. What's your take on it, Planks? Our girls will win, Pinky said. Just gotta have a faith in 'em, right, Sonny? Sunset leaned back in her chair. I don't need faith, she said, a smug smile on her face. Why have faith when you know what's going to happen? From where they stood just off stage, both Fluttershy and Octavia sized up their competition. Wow, they're better than I thought, Octavia said. No, they're not, Fluttershy corrected. If you'll note, one side is fluttering her cues and isn't used to singing in the register she is. Plus, both of them clearly aren't used to singing with someone else. Stagecraft seems to be a competent piano player, though. Now it's Octavia's turn to correct. I heard at least 2 shallow notes, which means she's not practiced at the song or the piano's not tuned enough. Given that this place has a regular band and likely is, which means she's not all that. Both girls looked at each other and giggled. We're 2 peas in a pod as if there ever was one, Octavia said, hugging her friend. We're going to win this. No kidding, Fluttershy said with a smile. Oh, isn't that cute? 2 little lesbos in full play. Tequila of the Sunrise says he walked up the stage, basking in the adulation was still going on. If you 2 could hold off on doing each other long enough, I could get a camera and film it for a porn site. Yeah, I can see it now. Swinsong taunted. 2 rock starlets with the guitar going down on them, she said, posing her hands and filming. So get you guys quick careers of Braziers or something. Wally, you seem to know what that is. Octavia snarked back. Lifetime subscription. One song reeled her hand back as it slapped Octavia, but Stagecraft held her back. Not worth it, Wendy. Besides, we gotta watch them fail. What could be better? Watching us beat you, Fluttershy said in cool tones. Come on, Tavi, let's go make magic. The 2 walked down on stage, mixed feelings in the air. For Octavia, she was used to it being a billion times over, having done this since she was 6. But for Fluttershy, she had only been on stage a handful of times, and she was still learning to get over her stage fright. The former had music in her blood for generations and knew what she wanted in life. The latter felt the pull of her love for animals and the pull of her love for music. Wasn't really sure which one was going to win. And right now, both were sure that for the latter, this challenge, this mere tiny performance in front of people, didn't expect this impromptu concert, would be the deciding point for the latter. As Octavia slung her bass guitar, she had to wonder, does make Fluttershy knew what she could be? Or would it break her to hurrying so far into herself, no one could find her? And would it be the fault of those obnoxious teens, their own group, or herself? There really was no way to know. Fluttershy slid the USB key into the keyboard, hit the first key, and for better or for worse, they were off. As Octavia let her fingers fly across the cobalt strings of the borrowed bass, she let herself slide into the music. So he hadn't really performed well in a crowd with this instrument, and popular music was far out of the range of what he was accustomed to. Still, Fireside's reputation was on the line, and that wasn't something that the raven-haired teen was going to stand for. Granted, there really wasn't much she could do in the way of direct action, but one thing she knew was her music. Someone had tried to bully Fluttershy when it came to music. That was Octavia's Bullywig. It was her way of fighting back, and she knew that this was where she was going to throw her punch. Then Fluttershy, letting the music wrapped around her, easily darted and danced over the crowd, smiled at them, then brought the microphone to her lips and sang, and cut the room. Let me take you to a place where membership's a smiling face, brush shoulders with the stars, where strangers take you by the hand and welcome you to Wonderland from beneath the Panamas. Oh, you might be wondering why I actually did research for her song and not theirs. I like Fluttershy. From the first note, from the first word, she had their rapt attention in a way that the other three couldn't have. Maybe it was the rock starlet singing an impromptu disco song. Maybe it was the fact that the song Octavia suggested was the de facto theme song for the resort's parent chain, written 3 days back. Or maybe it was just the crowd, having been wound by the constellation of sirens earlier, now eager to see what a new face could do. It didn't matter. Along with Octavia, this stage, this moment, this is all Fluttershy's. The Chiffon Hair Chanteuse declared this stage her realm. Now she held court. Club Tropicana drinks are free. Fun and sunshine, there's enough for everyone. All that's missing is the sea. But don't worry, you can suntan. Laughter rang out a couple hours later at a beachside bonfire ring, where the stars twinkled over the Pacific, and a group of girls sat around the blazing flames, armed with s'mores. Tired, Sugar Cube? Applejack asked Fluttershy. But in a good way, the chiffon-haired girl said, a pleased smile on her face. I honestly didn't think they liked me. Yeah, says the girl who only meant to sing a single song, then ended up doing an hour's worth of a mini-concert, then another 30 minutes signing autographs, Rainbow pointed out. And did you see those other girls? They bailed out of here like they were yesterday's news. I hope they didn't leave the resort. I didn't want that. I just wanted them to stop acting the way they did. Fluttershy stated. Don't worry about it, darling. They're pop stars, so they have to get used to the concept that someone out there is simply better than they, Rarity insisted. Yeah, Fluttershy, they had their star power, but you had something more out there, like it was magic, Twilight said. Oh, so now you believe in magic? Pinky accused before plopping down 3 motes of marshmallows as if they were air. What, you don't get the metaphor? Twilight retorted. But seriously, Flutters, if you hadn't considered a career in music, you really, really should. And when you do, can I have a lifetime backstage passes to all your concerts? Fluttershy giggled. As if you really had to ask. She then looked at Sunset. But speaking of magic, Sunny, what did you think of my performance? Sunset caught the question. First I was worried about how much was really her, and how much had been Sunset using her abilities. So you can see those didn't now give her the briefest of glances, all asking the same thing. And the truth was, there was nothing Sunset had done. It all been Fluttershy and Octavia's talents. She wouldn't rob them of their victory, nor achieve it in any way. So if magic had truly been involved in anything more than the most passive levels, she would have stepped in. But Fluttershy fought fire with Starfire and won. It was a stellar performance, and aside from Tavi's playing, there was nothing out there that could have made it better. Believe me, Sunset said. From the some smile Fluttershy gave her, the message was received. The others did as well, and they relaxed. Tavi, Fluttershy asked, if I started a band, would you be interested in playing bass? Me? Octavia looked up from the fire. I'm not exactly rock star material, Flutters. She said, I've always been more of a classical musician. Most rock stars have classical backgrounds, Fluttershy explained. For example, Frankenstein made his name as a teenage classical pianist before he picked up a guitar. Gooseneck from Black Flag? Sure, he's known for being a punk rocker, but before that he was a jazz performer and actually played the contrabass. Prince?
His father was a jazz musician as well, and that's who taught him to play piano and guitar.
Yeah, and then we see that Prince could have knocked everybody out with his guitar playing.
Even my own father's classically trained. I could go on and on, but I don't think I need to. Because what I heard tonight, if I go professional, I know who I want performing with me.
Octavia blushed. Well, you should. I've got issues for this. If you're really thinking about starting a band, won't we need a guitarist and a drummer, unless you are doing guitar?
I'd probably be better at rhythm, not lead,
Flashlight told her.
and your issues just make it all the more critical you should. You could be a powerful spokeswoman for that. And even if not, you would have a way of contributing and showing you're more than what the pills say you are. I already know you are.
Then if you have me, I'm in, Octavia replied, though she later admitted, it doesn't feel like I replaced all my instruments. Remember that I broke them when I... She fell silent, not wanting to say, before she was hugged by Sun and said, You're stronger than this, Tavi, Sunset told her. You'll move beyond all this, and we'll be there, watching you. Both of you. Every step of the way, okay?
Yeah, I get to sign the album covers, Pinky cheered.
Also, I get to design the fastens for the stage and photo shoots, Rarity equally gushed. Rainbow looked down and grinned. So what are you gonna call yourselves? Because I know this great...
We are not
calling ourselves the Rainbooms, both told her at once.
We're going to need a drummer and a lead guitarist,
Flashlight mused.
Like Dad, I think I'd better suited for rhythm guitar and keyboards. Plus, the lead singer of any group has got to be mobile to address the audience. And though it scares the hell out of me, I have to do it.
Oh, our little Fluttershy's done grown up so, Elzak said in a half teasing, half proud tone. Like so you know, years from now, you'll have to have 2 buckets of Grammys, or whatever they're called at your fancy Malibu homes. Randy was suddenly disquieted.
You just reminded me of something I didn't want to think of, she reached out of the blue. We only have a couple of years left with each other before we go our separate ways.
She reached over and grabbed 4 of Pinky's campfire marshmallows, consuming them in order.
And I'll be alone in all those worlds. Just even thinking about it is unbearable. It is the worst possible thing.
Warning, Kwama Cream Dwight choked.
Rares, can we not talk about that right now?
Rainbow growled in annoyance.
We're supposed to be here for something great. Celebrating summer and Sunny's upcoming adoption. Not the fact that we'll all be heading out to different universities.
Besides, Elzak added, I'm pretty sure we're all gonna be friends for a laugh.
But everyone always says that before they drift away.
Rarity whined, and instinctively, it made Pinky think as well. She gave a look at Sunset, the girl she loved. And Rarity's words just echoed in her mind. And then Twilight outspoke, looking at them all. We can't. We won't. I just made friends with you all. Real friends. Friends I've never had before. She looked at them all with sincerity in her eyes. I used to wonder what friendship could mean, until you all shared its magic with me. Twilight, leave the songwriting to me, okay? Octavia drawled. I swear that last line sounds like it's from a children's cartoon. A pretty awesome one.
Tavi,
fine, continue.
Look, maybe it doesn't seem as I'm making a lot of sense right now. But I'm actually thinking off the cuff, and frankly, that's not anything I would have done a year ago. Not even with Tavi's influence. I've learned a lot about being myself and being with others, and it really hasn't been easy, but it's been worthwhile.
She looked at the others, illuminated by firelight.
And I know I'm probably going to make a lot more mistakes, but I wouldn't be the person I am without you. Without all of you.
Sunset blinked at that. It was the closest he had to having her sister back since this all began. The moment was rainbowed by Rainbow uttering a yawn.
Well, it's late enough, girls. Maybe we should consider calling it night.
The yawn was infectious. Yeah, Molly was thinking about it, Elzak drowsed. Got more of the same. Yeah, and if we're going to start band first, we probably should start thinking about things tomorrow with a fresh mind, Octavia agreed. One by one, starting with Pinky, who said a good night's sleep was vitally important for having fun, they started filing away from the campfire, while Sunset volunteered to make sure it was put out. One by one, they moved on, saying their goodnights, leaving Sunset to watch the flickering, dying flames of the bonfire ring. She gave herself a private smile. Fire was a part of her, the strongest part of her magic. At one time, she wielded it as a blunt instrument and had been reprimanded by Celestia.
Since then, she learned to control it, fine-tune it, and no longer burn within the flame-formed hues of red, orange, and yellow, but essentially cool tones of blues and whites. She was by far the strongest archmages that ever existed when it came to wrong power. A contrast compared to Princess Twilight's super granular finesse. Twilight could thread a proverbial needle with her magic, while Sunset had to sew it through. But to extend the metaphor, Sunset could sew a tree through said needle with her power, while Twilight had to settle for something smaller. In the end, it didn't matter. Twilight had those extra parts, beyond what was that of normal magic, which had put her on a destiny to royalty and ascension. Sunset, on the other hand, took a more painful, circuitous path that did not lead towards either of those things. But those were destinies Sunset no longer wanted. She had to love her family, both that at home and here on Earth. And that to her was worth more than any crown or wings. Sis? Sunset was jolted out of her thoughts for not one word. She looked at the flames to make sure she hadn't slipped in a dream. The flames themselves were almost out, and more of growing embers from charred wood. Small centrals of smoke raced to escape to the sky. But the smoke was clear enough that Sunset could see across from the side to the concrete ring. On the other side was a plum-haired girl with locks of magenta and violet, looking right at her. Sunset said nothing. She wasn't sure what to say anymore. Twilight, dear, I really don't know what to think anymore. I really don't. So I'm going to say what's on my mind, and I don't want you to say a single thing. I just want you to listen. Sunset merely nodded, waiting for Twilight to continue. I don't know what's going on with you and the others, and I don't care. What I care about is our relationship. You're supposed to be my sister. You're supposed to be there for me when I need you. And I'm supposed to be there for you when you need me. Tavi thinks you're running from something. Something so bad it makes you refuse to talk about your past. Because you're so frightened that you refuse to accept it even exists, much less all of us. And I have to wonder, are we in danger? Are you? Are you putting us in danger? Sunset gazed up at Twilight, a horrified look on her face. She was about to say something when Twilight said, "Don't talk." Twilight moved over next to Sunset and sat down. This is the part I hate most about you, Sunset Simmer. You're supposed to be my sister. Sisters rely on each other. Tavi and I have been there for each other through thick and thin. You know that. And we've fought before. Usually my fault because I'm probably not the most mature person on the planet when it comes to my emotions. And you and I should be the same way. You saved my life, literally, and nearly at the cost of yours. And now there's something you're afraid of. But you're not turning to the family that loves you. That's there for you. Twilight got back up and dusted her shorts. I had to wonder, should we be afraid of as well? If the girl who's brave enough to throw herself in front of a speeding truck in order to save my life is afraid of something, we should probably be afraid too. Twilight took a step back from Sunset, her back to the flame-haired girl. Please, if I'm wrong, tell me. If you love this family enough to protect it from whatever you're afraid of, then you'll say something. Because I have a family I love, and I have to protect as well. Nothing more to say, and not even sure her words made sense. Twilight walked back to the bungalow where they were all staying. Sunset sat there, continuing to watch the embers until the last one went out, as she was bathed in moonlight. She looked up at the moon, seeing it was nearly full. In the past, she would have been trying to absorb all the ambient magic she could from it, such as she no longer needed. But the moon and its melodies, the moonlight that illuminated the beach, foreshowed the footsteps of the last person to leave the ring, and the chaos and confusion she left in her wake. A confusion that Sunset didn't quite understand. I'm a child of two worlds, she thought to herself. I know so little about my doll, and I just made up with my real mother, and now I'm supposed to be adopted by another mother, and I just love as much as the one I left behind. Yeah, I'm afraid of both sides finding out. I'm like a superhero in the comics trying to balance two identities. She sighed and leaned once more against the beach chair. But this isn't the comics, and life isn't really a story, where one is far messier. As the last ember died, Sunset felt as a part of her soul went with it. She felt drained and not in a good way. She stood up and took a look around, and when she was sure no one else was around, she snapped her fingers. A tendril of ocean water arose from a nearby beach and flew over to her hand,
becoming a ball of wire in an outstretched palm. She then dumped wire into the wood, the brief sizzle being the final death knell of fire. Feeling a bit melancholy about that, she went out towards the room she was going to share with Pinky for the next 2 weeks. Giving a brief yawn, Sunset moved towards the stairs, towards the second bedroom that Pinky insisted both of them take. The moment she did, she noticed the lights were out and Pinky was likely already asleep, so she slid to the door and gently closed it. That's when the lights came back on, reflected a million times over by the disco balls attached to the ceiling. In the center of the room was a weighted and well-polished metal pole. The soft sounds of a romantic ballad by Fastlove emanated from the speakers of the pink boombox on the other side of the room. Oh my! Wow, that wasn't even shot to you. Yeah!
Oh, Sunny!
A voice breathed, and Sunset froze as she turned to see the speaker. The scent of jasmine oil filled the air, and Sarah the Aroma Storm was a breathlessly beautiful girl. So much so that even Sunset could tell. She was dressed in pink leather panties, boots, gloves, and a brassiere, a soft red corset, fishnet stockings, and a choker, and topped off with a red gold necklace and an armband. She moved sensually, sultry, like Aphrodite calling to a supplicant. Sunset had known Pinky was a dancer. All cheerleaders were, to some degree or another, but this rhythmic motion, the swinging around the pole, dancing around the flame-haired girl, made it clear that this wasn't just for entertainment for a friend. This was a main dance that one would try to woo their chosen with, and the former unicorn had already had a general notion of who the cotton-handy girl had her mind set on. Sorry, Legendbringer would be continuing, but he fainted. So, was to be even more embarrassing once Pinky started her striptease. Are you ready to come back up now? Yeah. First came out the brassiere, and Sunset got an uncomfortable reminder why out of her circle of her friends, she had the third largest chest. A few minutes later, she found out that Pinky was in amazing shape. Probably Smuts' Rainbow, if she wanted to make a comparison based on Rainbow's slight six-pack. It didn't help that any more of the moment that Pinky shimmied around her, wearing nothing but the choker, the gloves, stocking, boots, pressing a little too close for comfort. Sliding her arms around Sunset's shoulders. Sunset finally had enough. Gently she cast a spell and Pinky found she couldn't move. Sunset gently extricated herself from Pinky's embrace, over to bed, grabbed a comforter, and wrapped it around her friend. Pinky, please tell me you didn't got a Brazilian for my sake. Sunset replied, trying for levity in what she knew was about to be a very bad situation. Sunset released the stasis spell, and Pinky fell to the ground, ignoring the closing strains of Careless Whisper.
Yeah, I did,
she said in a broken voice.
Because I hoped.
Sunset sat down next to Pinky and held her. Because you hoped I changed my mind? Pinky nodded, and Sunset could see the tears start to come.
Is it so wrong I want the girl I love to touch me? So I can feel like I'm worthwhile?
Pinky looked at Sunset.
Oh, damn, it's good, Sunny.
No, stop there. Stop right the fuck there, Pinky. I'm not gonna let you do this to yourself, understand? Sunset told her. You're a special girl, and I already got you. If I even had the inclination, I would. But I don't. That's not a bad thing. It just means that we are who we are. Dear friends. Sunset took Pinky's hand in her own and said, somewhere out there is the girl or guy who's right for you, and will love you the way you deserve to be loved. You're not damaged goods, Pinky, any more than I'm a monster. You told me that. Sunset hugged Pinky close. You're my dearest friend, and I love you, okay? I can't love you the way you want, but that doesn't mean that I don't at all.
You can't mean that.
I do. Besides, out of the two girls who throw themselves well naked, I'm saying you would win if I leaned that way, okay? Sunset laughed. Take that as a compliment, would you?
Wait, someone's already done this?
Yeah. It was Compass Rose, but she was the best dressed, and Pinky got out of the ground, sloshing out the quilt and walking over to her phone. Pinky, please don't. It's already 1 in the morning. Pinky ignored her, went over and picked up her phone, dialing a number on the automatic. the phone down for a few seconds before a groggy voice answered.
Well, this is Rose. Rose, this is Pinky.
Pinky said in a stern voice.
Pinky, it's 1 in the morning. Why are you calling me? Because I officially hate you. You know that? I gave you the right to start getting it by your Sonny before I could. Wait, what? We are so going to talk about this when I get back from vacation, Buster. You got that?
Pinky hung up the phone.
I'm going to bed now. Sonny, night.
Sunset groaned. Aren't you going to get dressed?
Nope. Might as well show you what you're missing.
She says he plopped right into bed before Sunset going to sleep.
Now, get over here, will you?
Pinky, you're creeping me out right now.
I know, Star. You know that.
Doesn't make it any less creepy.